So this is the 2-to-1 simple syrup, and I have 1 cup of water already boiling in my saucepan to save time. I'm going to just turn that up a little bit. So you're going to need 1 cup of water and 2 cups of granulated sugar. It doesn't really matter what kind of granulated sugar, just granulated sugar. So I get this water boiling, and then I put about half of the sugar in there just to get it going. So 1 cup, and then stir this until it dissolves a little bit. And then I add my 2nd cup of sugar. And then I keep stirring just to let that dissolve a little bit. Then I'm going to turn off the heat. Just keep stirring this until it turns clear. You want to see the bottom of this pot. It shouldn't be milky looking. It should be clear, and you don't want to see any granules. If you let this continue to boil, it will kind of solidify, and it'll just have these sugar crystals in it. That's kind of like where you start with rock candy. So you just want to stir it until those crystals are gone, until the sugar granules are gone. You want to just take this off the heat completely. So that's looking good. It's looking pretty clear. I'm gonna let this sit overnight. You just let it come to room temperature, and then I decant this into either a plastic container or glass container. Sometimes I'll even add a shot or an ounce of vodka to preserve it for a little bit longer. It keeps in the refrigerator for about 2 to 3 weeks. If you put the vodka in there, it'll keep a little bit longer. So it's very simple. That's how you make a 2-to-1 simple syrup. So the next thing we're going to do is make the coconut cream with the 2-to-1 simple syrup. So let's take you over to that video. So this is a recipe for coconut cream syrup, which you need the 2-to-1 simple syrup, which I have here in a little glass vessel to make this syrup. So what I do usually is I buy this Thai coconut cream syrup. It's unsweetened, it is not sweetened, and it is not light. The light coconut milk does not do anything for this drink. It doesn't taste anything close to what it should be. I know because I've tried lots of different kinds of coconut milk, and this seems to be the best. So I have put this coconut milk already in my vessel here, and I usually put this in some hot water, covered with hot water, and then I can just shake it up because there will be a disc of the coconut oily fat on the top, and you want that in this vessel here. So if you heat it up a little bit in some hot water for 20 minutes beforehand and then shake it, it just comes out clean from the container. Or you can take off the lid and scrape it out, either way. So I put the coconut milk in this vessel, and then you want 1/4 teaspoon of salt. If you don't have iodinized salt, that's fine. You can use kosher. That is fine too. So I put that in there, and then I have an immersion blender here, and I use that just to blend those two things together, and just to make sure that all the coconut fats are all broken up and not clumpy. Okay, so then you fill your empty coconut milk can. Don't get rid of it. Fill it with the 2-to-1 simple syrup. And then you dump that in. You can see how thick that simple syrup is compared to regular simple syrup. You dump that into your mixture, and then you're just gonna blend that and emulsify that. And it takes a little bit until those two things are combined together. And just a tip, you want to have your simple syrup cold when you do this, and you want to just blend this like crazy. So you just keep blending until this seems like it's all together, emulsified, and that is how you make the coconut cream simple syrup. Then I usually take this and decant it into a Rubbermaid plastic container or a glass container, and quite a few recipes from the Smuggler's Cove do call for this coconut cream, and it is delicious, and I can't wait to get into the series so that we can show you how to use this. So thanks for watching, and we'll start the series very soon with the tiki drinks. Thank you. Okay, so I am making the Demerara simple syrup. For this simple syrup, you're going to need Demerara sugar. This is what I got at Ray's. This is Demerara sugar. It looks like sugar in the raw, but it is a little more molasses flavored and really sweet. And then you're going to need 3 cups of granulated white sugar, and you will need 2 cups of water. So to save time, I've got the water already boiling in my pot, and I'm gonna start with the Demerara sugar. I'm gonna pour all of that in, and I'm gonna mix that up. Because this sugar is larger crystals, it takes a little bit longer to dissolve in this water, but you kind of want to start seeing the bottom of the pan, and then you can add a little bit of the granulated sugar. And then I'll start whisking it again. This doesn't have to be on boiling, because you don't want to boil it for a long period of time because it will crystallize. So that's looking good. I'm going to add the rest of my sugar. And stir this the rest of the way. This syrup ends up looking very thick, like honey in the end. So we're gonna stir this until we can't see the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the heat and continue to stir this until we can't see the bottom of this pan. Until all of those crystals are dissolved and all of the granules from the sugar is dissolved. I'm going to remove this from the heat. Keep stirring until it's dissolved. I let this cool at room temperature, and sometimes even come back maybe 15 or 20 minutes later and stir it again. It gets kind of a little skin on it if you have it at outside, at room temperature without a lid or anything like that, which is fine. You just kind of stir it back in. Just keep, you don't want any of the granules to be showing, and just keep stirring it until those are gone. So that is how you make the Demerara simple syrup. That is what most of these cocktails, like I said before, calls for. So thanks for watching. Next up is how to make some of these tiki drinks. Thanks for watching.